Hello everyone. In this video we're going to look at GNU Linux on a 6-year-old tablet and see if it's any good. My thought process for buying this tablet went as follows. I saw some Surface Go devices selling on eBay for $40 and I became interested in tinkering with them. But as I dug further, I saw that many of these devices were in too poor a condition to purchase. Cracked bodies, completely dead batteries, scratched screens, etc. But then I found a Dell Latitude detachable 2-in-1s selling for around $100. What does $100 get you? Well, for a Dell 7200, it gets you a modern i5 processor, 8GB of RAM, and 128GB of storage, and if you're lucky, a pen or keyboard attachment. I've never been a fan of touchpad buttons, so the keyboard wouldn't offer much value to me. It also offered a fun challenge. Can I install and use Linux on a tablet with no hardware keyboard? My first attempts were not so successful. I decided to try CachyOS, Arch Linux distro, with some built-in stuff for gaming and performance. Unfortunately, the experience was not great out of the box. The first annoyance was that it boots into X11 instead of Wayland. Forgivable for compatibility reasons, but bad for a tablet. The second annoyance was the keyboard. After getting it to boot and playing around, I realized the KDE distribution does not provide an on-screen keyboard. I installed Mallet from the Arch user repository. It compiled and installed just fine, but the keyboard is extremely bare bones and does not offer arrow keys, tab, escape, or control keys. This would prove to be the breaking point. You see, we can do a lot without a full keyboard, but even if we choose to avoid the terminal, there are some times where we really just need those extra keys. I was able to get auto-rotate working by installing a sensors package, so this is a usable setup, just not a very comfortable one. So then I figured, let's try GNOME. I dislike GNOME for too many reasons to cover here, but I will admit their design choices should work much better on mobile hardware. Well, I couldn't get Fedora 43 to boot, and I don't know why. It could be Ventoy, but rather than muck around with that, I decided to install Fedora Workstation 36 and manually upgrade it all the way to 43. It was a tedious process, especially with the mandated reboots during installation, but we got through it okay. It was interesting to see GNOME change through each version. I could see small changes to the UI and keyboard being made over time. Anyway, with GNOME, how does it work? Well, decent. The keyboard pops up when you want it to, the applications launcher and multitasking works well. It all feels pretty good. I made some minor tweaks to Firefox and installed Slippy, a way to play Smash Bros. For the GameCube online. I found it to be playable but not very enjoyable as the screen seemed to have a lot of latency and ghosting. Performance was alright and the 8th gen Intel really helped run this game in 720p or above, something my 4700MQ laptop cannot comfortably do. Speaking of display, I experienced some temporary image retention from the long upgrade process that left a faint glow of the Dell logo in the center of the screen for an hour or two. Yuck. Thankfully, it does go away, and this shouldn't be a serious problem in normal use, but this isn't really acceptable in 2026, or even 2020 for that matter. The display does look pretty good. I think the resolution is adequate, and the viewing angles are fine. It looks much better in person, the contrast is good, and it feels nice to use. So it can play YouTube videos and do whatever else you might do on a Linux desktop. The biggest weaknesses are the keyboard, text processing, and battery life. The on-screen keyboard is serviceable and worlds ahead of any other option I saw on Linux, but it's still buggy. The text prediction can't be turned off without uninstalling a certain package, and it's missing the escape key. For text management, copy-pasting and selecting text across different applications just sucks. The final really big problem is battery life. Now, this isn't a fault of Linux, this is a fault of Intel and just the tech that existed at this time. This device had an already small 37 watt-hour battery, which is only slightly helped by the lower resolution display compared to a Microsoft Surface. But with 67% remaining battery life, you're going to get maybe a couple hours good use out of this. And forget it, if you play video games, it's going to die in no time. While you can buy new batteries, and this machine is very easy to disassemble, which I really appreciate, I have doubts about new batteries having good health. I previously purchased a battery for a ThinkPad, and within a few weeks it was already down to 70% health. So for now, I'm going to keep it with the stock battery and see how it goes. Now for the conclusion. Would I recommend this? No. It's simply too buggy and too little battery life to recommend to anyone. It is a good value for the price, especially if you get the keyboard, but I would definitely take any used ThinkPad or an iPad over this. The tablet form factor is nice in the hands and easy to carry, but it comes with too many downsides in the Linux world. I didn't get to try the pen because it takes a quadruple A battery. Yes, 4 A's. But videos I've seen of it aren't super impressive. So that about does it. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more content.